Yo! Mic check, mic check. How we doing? Previously on Kimba TV. So it's gonna be S&P today. So you can tell that S&P is bullish, right? At least until you maybe hit the GEX or the 5950, right? We don't know if it's gonna hit 5950. We don't know if it's gonna bearishly react at 5950, but the smartest thing would be to at least see what the reaction is at 5950 and or watch to see if the net order flow or boot gammas changes throughout the day. Happy Monday, y'all. Bugatti. 30 minutes until US market opens. Are you ready? If I was gonna long, I would probably wait for this. It would look like this. Like this. And higher. So maybe like an SFP short or a long from down here or lower. Yeah, hyphy Mikey, if you wanted a long, I would wait for a lower. Okay, but we'll see it together, my boy. I think 98.5 would be first place I would want a long on CME. Obviously, you would want to get back above settlement pretty quickly, and then there's only two naked or single prints, so, or I mean three, so 90, so here, 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 and here. Those are your long opportunities, Mikey. And then maybe a short here if it sweeps the overnight shit, like the weekend. Yeah, still be looking for this guy. All right, Mikey. All right, Mikey. Mikey. Okay, joy. Stop the music, stop the music. We have a first-time chatter. Workday year, welcome, exclamation welcome for workday year. He says, what we about to do? Hey, perfect question. Guess what? This is what we call an RTH gap. All right, so initially it's a bullish thing. All right, I want you to, anytime that you show up late to a stream, I want you to type exclamation rewind, and you'll have the ability to rewind the live stream. I want you to always get caught up on what the plan is, all right? If you want to look for a long, you just had an RTH gap, so some people like to just market smash on the gap on RTH. All right, but what we're actually thinking about is if we want a long, I think, you know, like value area low or settlement is always better. But it made an interesting sort of RTH, like overnight high. So we're actually thinking about if it's like a structure, you know, a short. So it could be a short up here. If it does structural edge and it gives us open interest edge. And if it does come back here, it would be interesting to maybe look for a long, either at, you know, some sort of structural reclaim like this, because then that's entry, that's stop loss, something like that. So yeah, just trying to be patient and letting S&P kind of do its thing too. All right, brother. So plans, and you know, we're not gonna do anything blind. So it doesn't mean you should put shorts like limits here, and it doesn't mean you should put long limits here. Rather, you know, you want to anticipate what kind of edge. So like, if we wanted to take a short, well, it can't just, you know, green dildo straight through, right? It's got to be a swing fail. That's why we wrote SFP. So poke in or poke outside, and then a 30-minute candle close below. And then that's when, you know, the short might get activated. Same with this. This could be like a failed auction because there is VWAP down there. And I don't know how many times you've seen like a failed auction off of VWAP, but that's been something we've noticed a couple of times too. So that's basically it, brother. And you should have levels identified to the upside. You should have levels identified to the downside. So I've done that already for both a short opportunity and a long opportunity. What I would say is, like, all of these are kind of levels of interest. So you have a single print there, single print here, single print here. And then these are even a little bit stronger because you have naked point of controls. So what does it do first would be kind of my, like, check mark. Does it sweep this, but not this one? And so now we're gonna leave it like this. Then maybe I think this is the one that we would look for the long. If we keep it like this and we start to do this, then I think this one comes in to play. And then maybe that's when we do something like that. So it just depends on which side ends up having more liquidity to the upside or downside, I guess, is the way that I would play it. So which one? Does it do this? Everything, it would change a lot for me if it does this versus this versus this. And then obviously the structure would kind of be confirmed on like a break, and then maybe even like a lower low. So right here, whichever high has it is the winner. And then whichever one, whether it's this one or this one or this one, is the winner, I would probably correlate it to how far it would rubber band back down. How many of you guys, have you guys gotten to a point now where you've seen enough Monday RTH gap plays? And how many people longed on RTH gap bullish open? How many people haven't started to take that leap yet? But you're starting to notice that, especially on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, a little bit less chance that you want to do it. But like on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think it's pretty high a probability. You know, it depends on how far back you go, but you're looking at like 80, 90%, right? Yanni Boy says, yes, thanks to you. Not really thanks to me, but just being able to see it hundreds and hundreds of times, right? Yanni Boy says 92% win rate, insane. Not too bad, right? Yep. So you've got that kind of going for yourself. Obviously, understanding that over, you know, weekend highs or weekend lows tend to get cleaned. And identifying. So the biases we get into the long, whether you want to shave at the SFP levels or not, you're watching to see if it's going to have a pullback. You know where the longs are placed now. So, you know, I'm dragging my stop loss into profit. I've been shaving, but now it's basically right below this candle because I don't want this long to go underwater. So now stop loss and profit, the remainder is right here. That's what I've done. And then we'll see what it looks like at 103.6. And I'm going to shave a little bit at 103.6. And then I'll, basically after that will be the 105, 106 that we've talked about. All right. My mate Nace has seen the gap play work out successfully enough over the past couple of weeks that I'm very convinced that it belongs in my playbook. No doubt. You know what is going to, and I've stressed this before too, Nate, but even if you have seen the gap play over and over and over, you know what's going to give you the confidence to be actually able to execute it? To be able to know what the invalidation would be. So you're very clear on how much you're willing to risk just in case if it doesn't work out. Because if you don't know where your invalidation is or where you would put your stop loss, you really don't know how much you're willing to risk. Right? Or how much you could potentially lose. And that is the pussyfooting that will come into play. So I guess the point that I'm trying to make is you can see all of this shit. You can see me do a trade over and over and over. What it will really come down to when the bullets start flying is what is the invalidation and what's the stop loss. So that's why I always say things like, even if you tell me what your entry is, I don't know if you know what you're doing unless you tell me what your stop loss is. You telling me, hey, I'm gonna long or short here doesn't really help me. But if you say, hey, but my invalidation for a long or short is this, this, and this, then I can be a little bit more like, okay, you have my blessing to take it. So, because the question is like, how do you actually feel good about taking a stab at something, right? And more often than not, if you don't know like where your stop loss or invalidation is, then you really are still kind of gambling. And so it's going to make you pussyfoot. When you are like, you know what, I know that I could take a little bit of a tiny L or just get round tripped, but every edge that I usually like to look for is here. This is a level of interest. My invalidation is here. I'm going to take it, and you can take it without really caring. That's when you kind of know like you're like mathing. If that makes sense. So if you can put an entry at, a 7.5 or a golden pocket, and you know what your invalidation is, and you don't really care if you get stopped out for a tiny L or if you get round tripped, all you need to do is make sure that if you do get filled, you can manage it correctly so that you can put your stop loss at break even type of shit. That's when you kind of know like your planning is good. All right. So if you're thinking about, especially if you're a lion cub and you're thinking to yourself, okay, fuck. I've seen these RTH things, I'm going to put in my playbook next Monday that if it opens bullishly or bearishly, I'm going to take it. And this is my stop loss. You should be good to go. That's still juice. All right. Wabi Sabi says, what was your invalidation plan for today's gap play? There's a couple of ways that you could do it. So if one is, it depends on if the settlement is above daily open or below. It also depends on how far away the value area high or value area low is. So you have got a couple of things going on for you. One is, at the end of the day, if this is the way in which value is built, you want to get out of value area high, right? If you're going to be looking for the long on the gap play. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, it's a bullish gap, but it's got to get back above value area high. So, some people are going to look for a long there, and then the daily open and the settlement, and maybe even like a point of control is going to be your stop loss. some people are just going to use that as their stop loss. So it kind of depends on, are you trying to take the VWAP? Are you trying to take, it depends on how aggressively you want. Some people could have longed there. Some people could have, you see like, so this is, if you're playing the RTH gap, then it opened, it dips its toes in, and then it breaks out. So if you're going to play the RTH gap, you're probably somebody that is market smashing right there. Your stop loss is that, I guess. But if you're front running the gap, you know, like you should be probably thinking about, you know, this, and your invalidation is probably here. You don't have a guarantee that it's always going to bounce off of daily open. So daily open, settlement, and then golden pocket, and then that being your invalidation is probably how I would like to play. Okay, God's Panda. But you know what's going to help you guys figure out the invalidation is you start taking note on the RTH stuff. So I think the OGs can comment on this because they can tell you if they've seen it or not. But if it opens like this, so that's your open. You want to dip your toes in and then get back fairly quickly. You've seen scenarios where it maybe spends 2 30-minute candles. Okay, then it goes. Okay, so all of this is kind of fair game. But if you're longing, obviously the most bullish way would be to dip your toes in and go, kind of like an SFP. Ka-chia! Let's go. Easy money. Easy money. Give me that pop pink. Give me that pop pink. 500, like right around here. Okay. Get your ass up there. Let's go. Let's go. S&P Bagamus. Ka-chia. Let's go. Let's juice. Come on. Come on. Come on, come on. Juice. Quit playing with me. Quit playing with me. No mames. No mames. No mames. What do you guys think about the math? Catchy. Let's go. Let's go. It's a juicy Maguchi. It's a juicy Maguchi. Quit playing with me. It's a juicy Maguchi. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's a juicy Maguchi. Come on. Math. Let's go. Juice! But goddamn useless! Useless lines! Get! Let's go! Do you believe? Do you believe? Do you believe? Do you believe? Gotcha! Math! Hands! Kachuya! Damn! Let's go! Let's go! Shiba! Do you believe? Do you believe? Kachuya! Kachuya! God damn! God damn! God damn! No more miss! No more miss! No more miss! No mames. 4 minutes on the 30-minute candle. Quit playing with me. Could it be? Could it be? Pixel perfect. Ka-choy. Ka-choy. Let's go. Here we go. Here we go. 90 seconds on the 30-minute candle close. How? Let's go. Yamaha. Yamaha. Let's go. Let's go. Ka-choy. We juicing. We juicing. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. 30 seconds. Yamaha. Juice. Let's go. Let's go. We got a method. Lock in. Lock in. Let's go. Juice. We method. Kachoya. 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 Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Bugatti. Who method? Yeah. Hey, we gotta light up to this one, Lions. Woo! Math is math. Hey, Dino Barton says math is math. Neelar says math is math. How we doing? Lions, what do you thinking, man? What you thinking, Lions? Get your two-shape motherfucker. The math is the math. The Monday, usually for me, the way that I start is I go with identifying levels to the upside, identifying levels to the downside, higher time frame, and medium and smaller. We go with S&P, Confluence, and RTH, gap play. So you saw Bugamas were bullish, right? So, and then RTH was bullish. So as you start to work it like that, you're probably looking for longs, right? And then we talked about how you come up with invalidations. So you had a way to play, you had a way in which to prepare, and you had a way to manage risk. And even right now, I told you where my stop loss and profit is now, yes? So if you missed the 15-second alpha TA, you always want to rewind and get caught up. Fred says, that's what I mean. Nailed it today, prepared to the teeth. Yes, sir. I shaved at every level that we identified. I already hit my next TP at 33.5. And so really aside, and then after this little resistance level right here, the next level would be like 16. I mean, it really doesn't matter. I don't know if you guys remember when we were talking about this before, but I don't care if it gap fills or not. But maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But that 106.855 would be like near the gap fill, the 886. So somewhere between the 786 and the 886 is like our next zone, if you guys remember. All right, Fred, you good? 196, you good? 196 is under that big long. You don't want it to go underwater. Yeah, but also that guy has already TP'd, which is a great sign too. So he's already TPing a good chunk. So that's fantastic. Yep. And then it would just be a matter of looking for pullbacks to get into longs type of shit, you know? So higher time frame bullish. And smaller time frame, you just, you know, whether you want to hedge short or shave your longs, that's it. And then that's level of next level of interest. And then after that, you're just looking at, you know, all of that up there. Capiche? Kachoya!
Touche, motherfucker. The math is the math.
Hey, who's in here?
Yes.
Who's in here? Cage wins in the building. Who juicing forever? Let's go, Live Depot. Smoking lettuce, let's get it. Hey, anybody else want to depot a little something into that address? Send it. Send it, bitch. Kachoya. USDT TRC 20, send it. Kachoya. Let's go. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you guys think? Patience pays off. Batu says I shorted 102700. Nice, I am in a short as well. 102420. So we'll see. 19 minute swing fail. So there you go. Identifying levels. Hopefully me harassing y'all to have a plan. Kind of paid off. So we're front running a little bit, but reaction looks good. All right. So bat high is now cleaned. Let's see what we can get on the 30-minute. And remember, we talked about this already, but candle close. So that's still structure. All right. So you've got it. If you're, let's say, for example, you feel like you want to be in a short and you missed it. You've got that level. We already drew it. And then you've got that. But that's that when it makes a new lower low locally, that's when it'll be confirmed. And then, you know, we can start looking for downside. But we'll see. Legendary BTW says, what is your entry in short? For derivatives, it's for 102, 420. For CME, it is the 520, 545 through 520. Basically, it's the same thing. It's the sweep. It swept the high on derivatives for $3. That looks more than $3 to me. So, remember, whatever you're going to do, you don't want to get stopped out at the single print. Right? So if you were going to do anything blind or you were going to market smash as soon as you saw it close back below the sweep level, right? Bank, whatever it is, that high and that single print is going to guide you on where your stop loss should be. So as of right now, your stop loss is behind the single prints. Okay, and then stop loss and profit whenever you feel like it. Let's go! Kachoya! Okay, but it doesn't matter. Let's not get too carried away. Insulin Bench says, damn, we got the same exact position. Not really too difficult, though. It's the high getting swept. So, yeah, nothing too crazy. Preparation meets opportunity in it from 102.6. See, how the fuck are y'all getting better entries than me? That's crazy. I dig it though. Stop loss and profit already. Y'all remember when we were talking about, hey, once the low, we get into a short and then we pull the swing high, swing low, and the 7.5 is our entry. Like, we already know, like, y'all want to pussyfoot and just put stop loss at break even right now? Or do you want to keep the stop loss on a higher high for the next 60 minutes? That's the most difficult decision that we all have to make individually. Hopefully you kind of thought about it already, so you can just execute. But Paper Bell, what are you thinking? Brent, what are you thinking? And no reason to go all in, right? How many of y'all are actually bearish versus you just trying to get the same thing like me? You're trying to get a little bit of a pullback so you can get into a juicy long before it hits 105, 106. Brent says never let a green trade turn red. Facts. But also you have to finesse it with the concept that it's going to stop all of retail shorters out before it nukes. In this case, though, the swing fail looks Gucci, right? So what y'all think? How many people not in a short right now yet, but you know how you want to execute because you already prepared based off of what I said that you could do if you don't want to take that sort of thangity thang. So you guys are already looking at maybe the potential golden pocket that should be support turning into resistance. How many of you guys are going to just wait for a bearish retest on structure change? How many of y'all are you don't even want to fucking short? You just want to wait until a long opportunity at VWAP or value. Yeah, it's not about being right or wrong or being in the same trade. It's just about being prepared. So what a great show today on a bad high getting swept. Give it up for the bad highs getting swept. All right. Give it up for swing failure patterns and being prepared on how you like to play them. Today won't be the first. Today won't be the last. You will have plenty of swing fail patterns to play. So whether you want to chase it, I would assume that the 85 or the high 78s, whenever that does end up happening, that's going to be a swing fail. So it'll be quick, just like this, unless the open interest is different otherwise. So you'll have like an opportunity again. Then I think it would be just a matter of making sure you're prepared. So Shay says, I am grateful for the streamathon. To be honest, I don't know if any of this would make sense to some of you guys, but what I want to do is do a WAN based NDI or basically like a UDMP stream. What I want to do is have a server farm or a colo that has my hardware, and then I can stream to that, and then I don't have to switch on over to a VPS, and then it's also easier for other co-streamers to join in as well. But they do have NDI Bridge, which is a WAN-based portal, but yeah. But any questions? I'm going to load up the Latuche and maybe hang out with you guys for another 30 minutes, and then I'm out of here. And then I'll be here early again tomorrow. But I'm going to do some graphic stuff and make this cleaner. How many of y'all remember when Huju Shin looked like this? So Huju Shin is a panda in a samurai ninja outfit. And so the 100K to 1 mil challenge is going to be a white lion in a spacesuit. All right, which is why we're flying through the galaxy right now. All right, look at James Buttery. Where the trade? You got nothing open. You sure put the butt in Buttery, James. Oh boy. Might have to just make it VIPs only. I might have to make it VIPs only. Paper Bell, help me out, man. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, Paper Bell, whichever one comes first, okay? Let's just assume that we don't get like a big pullback and it just goes to 105, 106. Then I'm just going to hold on to like a low leverage short. See if we can get a pullback, okay? If before we go to 105, 106, we revisit some lows, you know, like 100 or high 99s, then that's probably the scalp long that I'm in to go to the 105s. Alrighty. So it's either, you know, like a bullish retest scalp long from lower, or a 105, 106 short. And then I would like to run that down to 85. So we might be able to take that 100, turn it into like 130 or 150 from the 105 to 85 short. And then from the 85 to 130 long, we might be pretty close. You know, we might be able to take that hundo and take it to like 300, 400 with just 2 trades. So I don't know if James Buttery is really understanding what the fuck going on. This ain't no Sato stream. This ain't no Sato stream where we're just hedging every fucking thing, you know, in front of us. No. Yeah, so it's really that simple for me. You know, if we can get a VWAP or a bullish retest, and revisit like a higher low, easy long, you know, and I'm probably in that on weeks as well. The one that, next one that you can probably anticipate that I'll be in is the short, from 105, 106, if the data looks good. And then last but not least, be able to try to take that down to the 85s. Yeah, or lower. It could be high 70s. Don't know. Maybe it doesn't even do the gap fill. We're ready for that too. Yeah, so in terms of the 100K to 1 mil challenge, it's not like I'm going to be scalping every fucking day. You know, I'm going to continue to work on making it look pretty. So it goes from this to something like this. You know, I don't need 2 panels because it's not going to be comparing the positions, right? But I'll have an area where it keeps track of how much we're at. Yeah, and then you know how instead of a rice field in the background is really, really pretty. I don't know if you guys remember, but you can barely see most of it now. But so instead of a rice field, it'll be space. If you're going off of like, you know, like structure, then it might be this. So some people are going to want to do this. Some people are going to want to do this. Some people want to make sure that this isn't just like a swing fail. So if you clean that, but you close right back above this level, that's an SFP. Dayox says, what about out soon, nerd out? Sure, Dayox, but did you hear what sort of my higher time frame plan is on Biddy? Do you remember what we talked about in terms of quantitative easing and quantitative tightening? So if you know that I'm expecting Bitcoin to pull back a little bit to an 85 or a high 78, and you also know that quantitative easing hasn't happened yet, and we're waiting for January FOMC, which is on the 28th and 29th. We don't have to rush the altcoin nerd out. That doesn't mean that there might be some that just absolutely rocket if Bitcoin has a little bit of a pullback to like 100K or something and it does a bullish retest. And when Bitcoin goes from 100 or 102 to 105, 106, some altcoins might just surge. So obviously there might be some that, and that's what I was really trying to do last week, was see which ones might be like underperforming now so they can catch up. But in the grand scheme of things, though, on which ones might be good for some spot buying, what levels might be good, there's really no rush yet in the context in which we need the data for us to actually believe in altcoin season. Does that make sense? So we can take it, you know, make sure you guys are pulling fibs and watching Anchor VWAP. But if I'm thinking that we're going to go to 105, 106 and then pull back to 85, and we also haven't had quantitative easing kick in officially, and ETH BTC still hasn't reached markers that we would consider bullish, no real rush. All right, Dayox, but we gonna nerd the fuck out because you know I like to be prepared. All right, and you know I'm gonna be scalping and shit. So, all right, Dayox, like ETH and Sol, I have some pretty big levels marked to the downside. Like what I think ETH and Sol and some of these altcoins could be if Bitcoin hits that 85 or 78 or 82 or 92 or whatever the fuck it might be. And so that's what I would encourage you guys to do. That's really it. And then it's just like VWAP, you know what I mean? Anchor VWAP, go to the daily, fixed range volume profile, and the shit that kind of overlaps is the juicer. Alpezy says, Kimba, you mentioned earlier you were going to get into a low leverage short around the 105, 106 level. If you did that, where would you, higher high, Alpezy? But if you're just talking me about putting a hard stop, because that's what you articulated, it would be structure change higher high. But remember what I said. I think it's going to be like a Wyckoff distribution. So I'll be looking for a Kimba crown. So even more so than the hard stop, I will probably give it 3 to 5, 6 days to trap top longs. And if that doesn't happen, Alpezy, I'll give up. Okay? So also, I'm assuming you're doing that to not get chopped up in that area. Yeah, I already know I'm going to be sweating, bro. You know? And the reason why I think what you heard me was this. Did you see this? So you can rewind and we got to clip it, but we did a live depot, so you can check the address. I pasted it for you guys. Yeah, so distribution, structure, and open interest, and CVD, I will be paying attention to, Alpezy. If we don't get a CVD bearish divergence with top longs opening, then the short probably isn't going to work. What I want is people to get really bullish, thinking that they're going to get all-time high. That's the sentiment bet that I'm basically playing. So if the data doesn't support that narrative, then we're probably going to actually make all-time highs, and the short is a no-go. All right. Yeah, and I don't want you to get too caught up on the possibility of a mega juice of a 105, 106 to 85, 78 short. I'm still bullish, in general, higher time frame, and the bigger main objective, okay? We already got our, 60, 65, 70, 75 longs that we took into the 108, 109 already. So it's not really so much like trying to get the pixel perfect Bitcoin short. It's really more about altcoin longs. So don't get too caught up in like, oh my God, the 105, 106 to 85 short could be juice. That might fuck you up when it's like blind, like really clear that we're going to be going to 109 or 110 first and clean, because the high is unfinished either. So, maybe before we go to 85, maybe we actually do clean the 109, 110. That's where we trap the top longers, and then we rotate to 85, and then from there we rotate back to 130 or higher. All right, Alpezy. What you think, man? We got a juice, man. We got a juice, man. Fingers crossed we get like a nasty, nasty Bugatti pullback, right? Yeah, well, you know that 105, 106, maybe like 104, high 104s, somewhere within that range is going to be a very interesting area for us to monitor for the course of a couple of days, if not like a week or change. Yeah, man. So, Banana Man, Prox 1, Lynn, Big Heady. I'll see you guys in a couple hours. Crazy to say. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow. Have a great day. I'll put it on the Exo VPS. Don't worry. Peace, everybody. Bugatti. Hey, Sato, tell them what happens if they don't use stop loss.
닥쳐 이 씨발년아!